we take the third block of the Office Suite in Education course. This third block introduces us to presentation, and we shall be using the Microsoft PowerPoint program to learn presentation. In this block, topics that we shall cover includes an introduction to presentation. Then we shall look at themes, animations, and transitions. The next topic will be incorporating graphics, video, and audio into the presentation. That will be followed by hyperlinks, action buttons, and running presentations as a kiosk. Then our last topic shall be printing presentations. As I usually say, this is a practical course, so you are entreated to get a computer and practice along as you learn. So we take our first topic, which is introduction to presentation. As a teacher, you will be required to communicate information on topics you teach to your students who may be present in class or may not be present. In presenting the information, what you would normally do is to organize the core points, organize the related illustrations that will help clarify the points that you have identified, minus the details. We can use various resources to organize the core points and illustrations. And during the delivery, we then display these points and illustrations to the live or non-live audience. It is during the delivery that we give details of the points with the support of the illustrations. When we organize and deliver information in that order, then we are undertaking what is known as a presentation. Therefore, in this lesson, we shall try to understand or define the concept presentation. Then we shall look at some of the presentation programs available. We shall look at the importance of presentation applications, and then move on to look at what we consider as principles of designing presentations. The next item to be learned will be to identify the features of the Microsoft PowerPoint 2013 program. Then finally, we shall learn how to create and save a presentation. So how will we define presentation? A presentation could be defined as the process of making a delivery on a topic to an audience using visual and non-visual aids. Another definition for presentation is that it is the practice of showing and explaining the content of a topic to an audience or learner. The practice of showing and explaining the content of a topic to an audience or a learner. Another definition we can give presentation is an activity in which someone shows, describes, and explains something to a group of people. What then would be presentation software, application, or program? We can explain or define presentation software as a software that enables a user to prepare gathered information and aid him in the delivery of the information in the form of a slideshow. Any software that enables a user to prepare gathered information and aid him in the delivery of the information in the form of a slideshow. Another definition for presentation software is that it is a software that allows you to organize the most important information into a series of slides. Software that allows you to organize the most important information into a series of slides. The final definition for presentation is that it is a computer program designed to allow the user to present information in an engaging way, such as with text, pictures, sound, and video. It is a computer program designed to allow the user to present information in an engaging way using in the form of text, pictures, sound, and video. You can simply say a presentation software is a computer program that enables the user to organize the salient points on slides and display them in slideshows. All these are definitions we can give to presentation software. Examples of presentation software or applications are Google Slides, Microsoft PowerPoint, iWork Keynote on the Apple computers. That is, we use this on Apple computers. And then we have OpenOffice Impress. We have Corel presentations. We have Kingsoft presentation. And we have LibreOffice Impress. All these are examples of presentation software. Why do we use presentation softwares or applications? The first importance is that it helps us to effectively organize our thoughts and facts. The second importance is that it gives us a better way to design and structure how to give information to people in our own style or way. The third importance is that it serves as a guide for the presenter to stay on track in the course of the delivery. Then finally, it helps capture and sustain the attention of the audience. Principles of designing presentations. That is what you should consider when preparing or designing your presentation. The first principle is that you need to read wide on the topic you are going to make a presentation on. You should have in-depth understanding or knowledge so that you will have the competence in making the delivery. The second principle is that you need to summarize the main ideas into points. Summarize your main ideas into points. You don't need to put so much text. Okay? You don't need to put the entire information onto the slides. What you should do is identify the core points or summarize the core point, and you can type it or write it somewhere. The third principle is that the presentation software is only there to help you deliver your information. It should not be the point of delivery itself. It should only identify the points, and as the points are identified, you should be able to explain what the points are. You don't need to read so much text on the presentation. The fourth principle is that you need to know your audience very well so that you can prepare adequately for them. So are you making a presentation for pupils in lower primary, upper primary, junior high school, senior high school, tertiary institution, or any other organization? Or is it a church? Is it a public education? So you should be able to identify those you are making the presentation for. The next principle is that you do not put so many points on one slide. As you can see, I don't have so many points here, so much text here. So that once you display the points, the audience will be able to read easily and quickly listen to the explanation to the points. Then you need to consider the contrast between the background and the information, so that if you have a lighter color as the background, then the font color chosen should be dark, so that the text or content can be visible. On the other hand, if you have a darker background, then the font color should be light. The last principle is that you do not use too much of animation, transitions, and themes within a presentation. In this course, we will learn what animations and transitions and themes are and how to apply them. What we are saying is don't overuse them. At least one animation throughout the presentation, one transition throughout the presentation, and one theme throughout the presentation. We are giving you some further tips. We are also encouraging you that I've already talked about the text already, so you don't need to put too much text there. but you also can make use of pictures, okay, serving as illustrations. But of course, it will depend on the kind of delivery you are going to make. Then you don't read the slides. I have already mentioned this. Whilst you are making the delivery, you do not read the slides. Your slides should remind you of your talk and allow your audience to see only the important facts. Okay? Then you need to prepare and arrive on time. On time here means earlier before the delivery. And this will help you identify the potential challenges within the environment you are going to make the presentation. Okay, so is there power for you if you are using PowerPoint? Is there power in the premises? Where will you position your projector and so on and so forth? If there are any challenges, once you get there early, you're able to prepare, cool down, and then deliver. But if you get there late, you find yourself becoming jittery. We also advise that during the delivery, always look into the audience and not focus too much of your attention on the slides. Focus on the audience as well. Now, some of us are a bit shy when we stand in the presence of a large audience. The advice is when you are making a presentation to a larger number of people other than what you are comfortable with, what you need to do is always at the initial stage look above the heads of the people you are making the presentation to. Then as you progress, you just identify one person who you can focus your attention on. Okay, so you look at the face of the person, then you expand to be looking at the faces of the others. Then gradually your confidence will be building. And you need to keep a steady pace when you are making a delivery. You need to be heard when you are making a delivery, whether you are using a microphone or without a microphone. And you need to be clear enough for your audience to clearly get vividly what you are trying to put across. Then relax and enjoy yourself. Whoever you are making the presentation for are there because of you. At the moment of your delivery, you are the boss. So don't be overwhelmed with tension. No. Take it cool, but the advice would be that before the day you go and make the presentation, make that presentation to yourself, rehearse in your room. If you have rehearsed, then it becomes more easier during the day of delivery. Let us look at how we launch the MS PowerPoint program. And here we are going to learn the 2013 version of PowerPoint. We will be launching the program in the Windows 7 program, so the procedure follows as it will be done within the Windows 7 operating system. Step 1 is to click the Start button. Step 2, go to All Programs. 3, scroll through the menu and then click Microsoft Office 2013. Then finally click PowerPoint 2013. Let us demonstrate this. We click the Start button. We put pointer on all programs. We scroll through and then we click Microsoft Office 2013. Then finally we click PowerPoint 2013. Once we click it, the program launches and it displays recently opened files in this file pane. If you don't have any, if it's the first time the program is being used, you will not see this recent list here. Then we have the available templates in this section. For now, we will be using the blank presentation, so we will click that one. Let us identify the features of the MS PowerPoint 2013 version. We are well acquainted with these parts or features, so I will not concentrate on them. But the new elements are the slide navigation pane, or you can simply say the slide pane. Then we have the slide here, and on the slide we have the work area. Within the work area we have what is known as placeholders. So currently we have the title placeholder, and then we have the subtitle placeholder. You are well acquainted with the status bar. Then we have this one known as the notes button. We have the view options, and then we have the zoom control. As I have said, we are much aware of these, so I will skip them. But you can pause the video and read to refresh your memory. We have the slide pane or slide navigation pane. The slide navigation pane displays thumbnails of slides in the current presentation file. The thumbnails display snapshots of each slide. Then we have the work area. Each slide has an area where text and graphics are entered for a presentation. There are various slide layouts, as we shall learn, and these slide layouts, or these we will explain what slide layouts are, but basically the layouts consist of how placeholders are organized and the number of placeholders we can find on a slide. Okay, so it is on this work area that we find the placeholders. Then we have the title placeholder, and this section is where we enter the text, especially the title of the presentation, usually being the title of the presentation or any other text that we may want to insert in there. Then we have the subtitle placeholder, and this is the section where text or graphics can also be entered. So if you have a subtitle, that is where you enter it. Then we have the status bar, and we learned earlier that the status bar displays information about the slide presentation, such as the number of pages or slides that we have within our presentation. The next feature is the view options or view controls. The view options displays several view modes for the slides. It presents different ways of seeing the contents of the slides or presentation. The view options are normal view, slide sorter view, reading view, and then we have the play slideshow view. Zoom controls. Zoom controls are used to magnify or reduce the contents of a slide on screen for better viewing and reading. Then we have the notes. We click notes to add notes to our current slide. Often called speaker notes, these notes can help you deliver or prepare for your presentation. But note that what you put in the notes is not displayed on screen during the slideshow. Let us look at how to create a presentation. To create a new presentation, you click the File tab, which will take you to the Backstage view. The next step is to click New on the File pane. Then click Blank Presentation Template, or choose any of their themed templates. Let us demonstrate this. So if, let's say, for instance, I am already working in this and I want to create a new presentation, I'll click File, and then I'll click New, and then I'll click the Blank Presentation. Once I do so, a new presentation is open for us. So this is our slide here, okay, and on the slide we have our work area. We have the title, placeholder, subtitle, placeholder. This is our slide navigation pane, okay. Then we have our status bar here. We have our notes here. Then we have our view options, and then followed by the zoom controls. Now we have created a new presentation. But before we enter any information in there, let us acquaint ourselves with some of the basic things or concepts we will find on our slides. We have already learned that PowerPoint presentations are made up of a series of slides. and a slide is a single page of a presentation. Slides usually contain the information you will want to present to your audience. And some of the information may be usual text, pictures, videos, audio, and charts. Slides contain placeholders. It is in the placeholders that we enter the information. So, placeholders are elements or features within which we enter information. Okay, so this is another slide, and on this slide we have a title placeholder, and then we have a content placeholder. Now you type text in this, and you can type text in this one as well. But apart from text, you can enter various other contents, as we shall learn in our subsequent lessons. Every slide has a layout or slide layout, and a slide layout is the number of and the arrangement of placeholders on the slide. In other words, a slide layout determines the number of placeholders you can have on a slide and how those placeholders are arranged on the slide. Users have the liberty to choose different layouts for different slides within our presentation. So these are available slide layouts. We have the title slide, then we have the title slide layout, then we have the title and content slide layout, we have the section slide layout, then we have the to content layout, we have the comparison layout, then we have the title only, blank, then we have the content with caption layout, then finally we have the picture with caption layout. Okay, so how do we enter text into slides? All you need to do is, first of all, click inside the placeholder you want to type the text into, and then you type the text as preferred. Alright, so let us start. We are going to create a presentation on one of our simplest topics that we are so conversant with, teenage pregnancy. So our title is teenage pregnancy, so you will type teenage pregnancy in this slide. So I've clicked in this placeholder. We type in teenage pregnancy. Probably I will type my name here by Charles Mensah. Okay, so we have just one slide. How do we add additional slides to our presentation? To add new slides, The steps are given to us as follows. 1. Click the new slide at the slides group. And then 2. Click the preferred layout on the Office theme gallery that drops down. Alternatively, you can press on your keyboard Ctrl and M. But when you press Ctrl and M, this will insert a slide with the layout used in the preceding slide or previous slide. So let us add new slides in our presentation. So we are told for the first step to click new slides. Then we have the various layouts here. So I would click, I want this one, so I'll click title and content. Once I click it, that slide is added and we see its thumbnail in the navigation area. You see that a thumbnail of the first slide, title slide, is displayed. Alright, so we are dealing with teenage pregnancy. Let me put these side by side. Okay, so let us have the lesson overview. So you type lesson overview, then in here we click there and type definition of teenage pregnancy. Okay, and then you can type the rest of the information on these slides, but because I have already typed them, I'll just copy and paste. So I'm copying these, right click, and then I'll paste them here. Alright, so we have our second slide. Let us add the next slide by pressing Ctrl and M. And you notice that once I pressed Ctrl and M, a new slide is inserted and it has the layout as of the previous. Alright, so I'll copy this information, which is definition of teenage pregnancy. So I'll click in the add title, right click in there, and then paste. I'll copy the definition and then paste as well. You notice that each point before you insert the content or point, a bullet is what is inserted for you. Okay, so for each point it begins with what? A bullet. You can change the bullet to numbering if you prefer. Alright, let us add a new slide. So we are done with the definition. We add another one here. Let us copy this, but you will be typing, but because of time, that is why I have already typed them here and then I'm copying and pasting. Okay. So we have causes of teenage pregnancy, paste here. Okay, so I can choose to use numbering. So I'll select them, come up here, choose the numbering, and I may use this numbering style. Okay. Let's add a new slide. Effects of teenage pregnancy. Copy, right click, copy, and then go to PowerPoint and right click and paste. Okay, let's add another effects. After effects, then we have prevention. So let's copy these points as well, then paste them. But of course, you will be typing. If you've not already typed them in Microsoft Word or anywhere else, you'll be typing them one after the other. Then we have teenage pregnancy management. Okay, how do we manage when a child becomes pregnant or a girl becomes pregnant? Alright, so the points are stated here. So we have our points now. If you want to add pictures or something else to your slides, we will learn them later. Yeah, let me not rush. Okay, so we have added new slides to our presentation. However, you may have selected a slide, or you might have inserted a slide, but you want to change the slide layout to another. How do we go about it? To change a slide layout, you should do the following. 1. Click the slide's thumbnail in the slide pane. 2. Click the layout button on the slides group. 3. Click the preferred layouts thumbnail on the drop-down gallery that displays. Let us demonstrate this. So let's say I want to change this layout to, let's say, the to content layout. So I'll click this slide and then click the layout, slide layout, and then I can change or choose a different layout for this slide. So I'm choosing to content. Once I choose to content, you notice that the arrangement of the placeholders change, and then an additional placeholder is added. So that is how we change layouts for slides. Excuse me. Duplicating slides. How do we duplicate slides? To duplicate slides, you should do the following. 1. Right-click the slide you want to duplicate. 2. Right-click and choose Duplicate Slide from the menu that appears. You can also duplicate multiple slides at once by selecting them first. Then, after you've selected them, then you right-click and then choose the duplicate slides. Let us demonstrate this. So let's say I want to duplicate this slide, the last slide. So I'll right click its thumbnail in the navigation pane, and then I'll click duplicate slide. And once I click that, this slide is duplicated. So you have the same content on the two slides. Moving and deleting slides. First of all, we look at how we can move slides. In the slide navigation pane, what you do is you click and hold, you press and hold and drag the desired slide's thumbnail in the slide to the desired position. So let me demonstrate this. So let's say I want to move the causes of teenage pregnancy, let's say, to be the third slide instead of it being the fourth. What I'll do is I'll press and hold on that slide's thumbnail, and then as my finger is still pressed on the left mouse button, I'll drag it up to the point where I want it to be. So if I want it to be the first, I'll move it up here. But in this case, I want it to be the third. So I'll position it here. Then when I get to where I want to position the slide, I'll just release my finger from the mouse button. Okay. All right. Let me move it back to the fourth position. So I'll move it down. Okay. So that's how we move slides. How do we delete slides? The steps are: 1. Click the slide's thumbnail in the slide pane. And then 2. Press delete key on your keyboard. So we want to delete this duplicated slide. So we click it and then we press delete on our keyboard. Once we press delete on our keyboard, that slide is deleted. How do we copy and paste slides? To copy and paste slides, you should do the following. 1. Select the slide you want to copy in the slide navigation pane. 2. Click the copy command on the home tab. 3. In the slide navigation pane, click just below the slide or in between two slides. That is where you want to post or where you want to choose a paste location. That is where you want to put what you have just copied. Once you do that, a horizontal insertion point will appear. 4. Click the paste command on the home tab. Let me show you. So this is our presentation. I want to copy, let's say, the lesson overview. So what I'll do is I'll click its thumbnail, then I'll click copy. Once I click copy, then I'll go to where I want to paste or place this copied slide. So I want to paste it here. So you notice that horizontal insertion point is given to us here. So once it is there, then I'll click paste. Once I click paste, you notice that the slide that was copied is pasted at where you wanted it to be. Alright, we have learned how to create and do some little management of our slides within our presentation. Let us learn how to save a presentation. The steps are given as follows. 1. Click the File tab. 2. Click the Save As pane at the Backstage view. Or you can say click Save As at the Backstage view. Let me delete this pane here. 3. Choose where to save the file and give it a name. Then 4. Select the location where you want to save the presentation. And then 5. Enter a file name for the presentation. Then click the Save button to complete. Let us demonstrate this. So I want to save this presentation. What I'll do is to click the File tab and then click Save As. Then to get to the location, I'll click Browse over here. Then by default, it will be saved in my document. But if, let's say, I want to save it in the music folder, I'll click Music. Okay, then type the name we prefer to give it over here. So let's say presentation on okay, let me make it presentation practical. Yeah, presentation practical 1. And then you click the Save button to complete. Alright, so we have saved our presentation. A presentation file created and saved in Microsoft PowerPoint is called a presentation. The file extension for a presentation created in the MS PowerPoint 2007 and above versions is PPTX. Earlier versions of PowerPoint had the extension of .ppt, not .pptx. We mentioned that we can view our slides in different modes. So we are going to look at the slide views available in PowerPoint. The slide view commands, as you have learned, are located at the bottom right of the PowerPoint window. The slide view commands helps in the management of your slides in the presentation. There are 4 main slide views which we can locate on the window. That is where we have the slide view options. And the 4 main slide views are normal, slide sorter, reading, and play slideshow. So we have the normal view, slide sorter view, reading view, and then we have the play slideshow. Normal view. This is the default view where you create and edit slides. You can also move slides in the slide navigation pane as you identified on the left. Slide sorter view. In this view, you'll see a thumbnail version of each slide. You can drag and drop slides to reorder them quickly in this view. Then we have the reading view. This view fills the PowerPoint window with a preview of your presentation. It includes easily accessible navigation buttons at the bottom right. Then finally, we have the play slideshow option. And this is the view you'll use to present to an audience. This command will begin the presentation from the current slide. So let us have a demonstration of this. So we have our presentation and the views are here. Currently, or by default, we are in the normal view. As you can see with my mouse pointer, identifying it. But once we click the slide sorter view, you see how your slides are arranged. Okay, we see them in the form of thumbnails. So if, let's say, I want to move this slide to be the second, I'll just press and hold this thumbnail and move it to where I want it to be. Okay, let me move it back. We can only do this in the slide sorter view and then in the navigation pane. Let me click the reading view. And what do you see? How your display would look like is shown to you in the reading view. Okay, so I'll click this to move to the next, move to the next. If I want to go back, I'll click that, and then I'll click that. Let me go back to normal. Then we have the slide show option here, play slideshow here. So I'll click it. Once I click it, the presentation displays in the slideshow mode, and the current slide that was active in the normal view window will be displayed as the slideshow. I'm pressing escape to end this. But beside these 4, we have an additional view known as the outline view. The outline view shows your slide in outline form. This allows you to quickly edit your slide text and view the content of multiple slides at once. To view in the outline mode, you should do the following. 1. Click the View tab. 2. Click the Outline View command. Once you do that, an outline of your slide text will appear in the slide navigation pane. You can type directly in the outline to make changes to your slides. So let's say I want to view these contents as an outline. So I'll click View, and then I'll choose Outline View, as you can see here. And now you see that our presentation is given to us in the slide pane as outline. So for instance, I can change this to simply what is teenage pregnancy. So I'll select this text and type what is, okay, then whatever I'm typing here is also being applied on the slide itself. So that's how we view the presentation in the outline view. Let's go back to normal view. Alright, so this ends our first lesson on PowerPoint. We shall take further skills in our subsequent ones. Have a blessed day.